Give things a chance. Let the fear you have fall away. I've got my eye on you.
We're getting our hearts today.
Oh yeah. Say that again. Say that again. We can roll it.
It's
It's okay.
we're being led by the Spirit.
That's
When
that's
we've been
right.
following the lash. But
Yeah.
the things that happened to me, I was going to say my best friend had gotten shot to death when the Hanafi Muslims took over the district building at the B'nai B'rith Temple. And that was because of the Sunni and Hanafi Muslims had a disagreement, and the Hanafi Muslims were murdered on 16th Street by the Sunni Muslims, and they were trying to get the city, our legal system, to do something about it. They weren't moving fast enough. So they took the district building and the B'nai B'rith Temple hostage, to try to get their point across to be heard. But my best friend was covering the council meeting at City Hall at that time under the tutelage of Kathy Hughes, who was working as a supervisor at Howard University Radio. And today she owns 91 radio stations in the United States. But
Yeah.
back then, at the beginning, he was anchoring the news under her tutelage, and he was covering the council meeting. And he called in to her to tell her he's going to be late coming back from lunch. He had a ring in his pocket. He was going to propose to his girlfriend, make her a fiance. Her name was
Wow.
Frankie. And
Wow.
she said, well, your building's been taken hostage, and since you're down there, you might as well cover the story. So he's on the elevator with Marion Barry. And as they get to the first floor to exit, there was a young guy. I think he was like 17. He had an automatic weapon in front of. He was wielding that, telling everybody freeze. And when people get off work, they don't pay any attention to stuff like somebody holding a gun talking about freeze. They trying to just leave and get
Trying
home. So out of fear, because they just kept coming, he just set off a barrage of bullets. And he hit Marion Barry, he hit Maurice. But Marion Barry was a council member. He had the notoriety to get taken out, and his life was saved. And Maurice wasn't as well known when he didn't have the notoriety, so he bled to death on the elevator.
Oh.
The building was hostage for 3 days. But when we were kids, we used to play the little plastic soldiers. You had to have
Yeah.
imagination when we were kids because they were they were rigid, immobile. They didn't even have moving parts. And you'd have a whole bunch of them, and you locate them on the ground where you're crawling around, and you got your colored ones over here, and they got theirs over there, and you go into war, doing about this one got me shot, and then you knock them over, and all of that kind of imagination. So we went to comic books, and there was a store called Manifold Variety on Third Street. We
Oh.
nicknamed it Doc because it was. And I had worked there in high school as a what do you call it, a soda jerk. I used to stock the store, and I used to make the French fries and make milkshakes and stuff like that for people who would come in for lunch and after school. Make
Oh.
fry French fries, fish sandwiches, or whatever. I'd put
What-
all together. They called them soda jerks
I
then,
was
but
going to say soda jerk. That's interesting.
yeah. So at any rate, we'd rush down because he'd have a stand where he'd have the newest comic books. And every month we tried to race each other who gets the newest issue first, and he only got 3 or 4 of each copy. So we were ones to get the first ones. And sometimes I beat him. We both lived about the same distance away. And we used to have our comics. That's what I used to call it. And we read them, and we try to draw Marvel comics. We were getting our artistic skills going. And we created some new characters. I think he had one he named T. Bennington Whip Game. And I said, whatever, he had Nick Fury of Shield, and you Spider Man, Thor, all of that. And when he got shot, I started realizing on Sunday mornings, the newspaper would come and they would have the colorful comics in the newspaper and dealing with finding out he was dead.
Oh.
And I wrote this poem, which became a song. And I tried to look at the words because my emotions were intense and they were mixed. You know, there was the joy of having him has been a friend, a best friend, and the pain of missing him not growing alongside me. Because if you read Herman Hesse's Narcissus and Goldman, one of them was a wayward traveler and the other was a homebody. So I was wayward traveling, going to college in Minnesota and hitchhiking all over the country and doing. So when I come back to town, he picked me up at the airport and he was here at hometown anchoring. He told me all about all the things going on here with the people I grew up with here. And I'm telling him about all the people I met in the world. And we keep each other in tune with the close and the far. You know, we're
Mm.
extreme, and it was out where our hearts grew. So when he got killed, that was a tragedy to me. I didn't even know how to deal with it. You know, it
Yes.
kept me in deep melancholy, and I think I was more angered than fearful. I wasn't worried about it happening to me because I was a veteran, and I wanted to really take revenge and go and try to get the people that killed him, but start realizing that that kid was in great fear when he killed my friend,
Mm.
and he didn't need more fear, and he got persecuted. I'm not sure how much or anything. I didn't delve into it, but to ease my mind and free my soul, I wrote this poem, and it goes, "Have your comics been getting more serious lately? You think your past is up to date?
Mm.
Can't you see God is getting more human? Or is love composite of hate? Again and again to try to contend one you love with a serious bout. If the means is an end, you'll have to pretend, or else you'll be doing without.
Mm.
Or else you'll be doing without. Take, for instance, that everything's going your way, as in movies to stars that take part. The galaxy is full of nightlife, if you wish, but each daybreak will prologue a start."
Mm. I love
And
it.
to my heart, and it begins a star, you know, no matter how near or how far she glows. And that smile that keeps our world warm and growing.
I love
So,
it. I love that. I love
and I
that.
start when I deal with intense emotions,
Yeah.
I start trying to find words to not so much describe in detail, and I try to filter the pain so that it's not as unbearable as it has been for me, to where maybe the gist can be given and shared without causing the same damage, with that understanding. So that I write a lot about the controversies and the intense differences of understanding when we get to grow and changing our perspective. And I think I couldn't do any of it without a higher power giving me a world of people that undergo the same or similar situations, to where together we can hold strong, like in a band of field of corn stalks that have been chopped down in harvest, but yet they stand banded together at intervals in groups throughout the field of harvest under the full moon, and found
Mm.
out that together we can stand, even when we chop down, even when we're broken. Together we can grow and
Yes.
stand in the sunlight or the moonlight of the spirit. So,
Mm.
all these
Mm. Mm.
start realizing that there is life after death. But I've gone through such extreme emotions to where I would say stuff like, I was filled with everyday measures of emptiness and fortunes of still held back tears, inside swollen hopes a praying one gropes for love that he's treasured for years,
Mm.
counting yesterday's promises as the sheep of the dreams, bred in lies of confusion for the truth that it seems. And the seasons are falling, just like life after death, depending on someone who's taking your breath in the
Mm.
lonely reality games.
Ooh. Ooh.
And I would go into those extreme feelings. And I got to college, and I was one out of nine blacks on campus with 1,700 other students that were white.
Mm-hmm.
And it was St. John's University. And out of those 1,700 students that were
Mm.
white, 68% of them were named John.
That name
Because it was
just sticks with me too.
it's like the whole world of Johns, and we're not talking about toiletries, or we're not talking about uh
Yeah,
solicitors. We're talking
but that,
about just kids named
but
John that were being babysat because they were wealthy enough to afford the university.
but I love that name because that name I'll use it on all of my jokes because that's for some reason it's my go-to.
Yeah.
I will always, if I have a joke, it would have to be John. I'll give the little boy named John.
And guess what? Even
What?
the term John has been one that has been viewed to be so faithful as well as
Mm,
one that has been viewed to be so faithless.
okay.
So for John and Don, a saint, two different views of the same name. So where Rose by any other name is still a Rose, a
Yeah.
John by name, you can't even tell the difference.
Wow. Because when you, I mean, when you move, like, it kind of do what it do. X, Mr. X, or you gonna call me O. If you don't mind, because when you move I'm gonna show you. Can you tell when I move or something like that, how it sounds, or a little
Yeah.
bit like when I'm, yeah, because
You got
it's
a
clear.
background, though. I got to get a background
Yeah.
to
See,
my
when
view.
like that is perfect, but it's kind of when you move around, I'm missing the good parts because I really want to hear what you gotta say because you are, yeah, very,
Plus,
very.
I'm holding my device. I might be holding the microphone to distort
Oh,
the sound as well.
you're holding the
So
microphone?
I'm holding the device. The microphone is on the device, so I might be putting my hands behind it or around it.
You you over there. I don't know what you're doing. You tree boxing, don't you? I gotta see how tree boxing.
So I got to learn how to do all of this. This is the first time. I'm a virgin at this, so be easy with me.
You are such a pro. You are such a pro. But yeah, I can identify with a lot of that. You spoke about, I lost my friend when she was only 13. I couldn't go to the flashlight concert that she was going to, and her boyfriend strangled her to death at 13.
Mm.
you know. And my life changed. It was never the same, never the same because I somehow blamed myself, but really my mom because she wouldn't let me go at that time, to that particular concert. And I felt like if I would have been there, it would never happen. I really feel like that because we'd have been having too much fun. She would have not been on the back of some stairwells with a guy to do what? We'd have been having fun. We'd have been flashing the lights and stuff, but mm-mm.
Wow.
And she was a beautiful soul. I mean, beautiful inside and out. And it took me a while, and her mama couldn't say goodbye to me. I mean, I used to go over there every day, and the mom was real sweet because she would open her door for me. We had this thing that we did every day because I would go over to the house, and I would always wait for her to come down the steps, and her mother be playing old school music, and I'd be downstairs grooving with the mom, listening to the music, just chilling and waiting for her to come down the steps. And me and her mom did that same replay for like 3 months. As long as her mom could stand in that house after she passed, and after that, that mom just dipped. And like I said, my life just changed ridiculously, you know.
Yeah. It's funny the effect we have on people and the effect people have on us.
Mm.
And I think that the passing clouds. But I think I had written on cloudy days, the shadows hide in mists of dreary skies that make it clear that sunlight gloom has kissed. Reflections throughout crystal streams where raindrop rings still run. Alongside dreams, the spirit sings in touch. We are as one.
Oh,
That's how I
yeah.
grow treasure the people that I've connected with, and
Yeah. I love that. Oh, you gonna get more hearts on me. That one was beautiful too. Hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of spirits heard that. You hear me? I think a lot of spirits heard that, and I appreciate it.
well, yes, I've been gifted with the ability to say the words. Matter of fact, I think simply I would put, it seems that words are all I have to give so free.
Mm.
Yet in giving them, I know I'm giving me.
Mm, mm, mm. I hope you hear that.
In the
That's
beginning was the word, of course.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, beautiful. Oh my goodness. I can't believe you brought up some history back there about we had this strong mayor. May he rest in peace, man. I got a lot of love for him wherever he is, you know what I'm saying? Because I know he's got to be an angel, Mary Bird. Got to be an angel. I don't care what nobody say. Got to be an angel. You hear me? Because that was a good
Yeah,
soul too. Yeah, he was a good soul.
I
Mhm.
look at in truth, um, a lot of us will say we are not saints, but I've learned that God will send us angels to bring the angels out of us
Humming,
and
humming,
come.
humming.
So
Stop.
it's like, and we're all led by angels, and we must be angelic. I would watch David Carradine on Kung Fu, and my description of an angel was like this. Master Po had told Kwai Chang Caine, to go rescue the girl who was Tomo's daughter. And he was like an eighth degree black belt mountain dweller. And the emperor's men had captured him and put him in a bamboo cage in a cart and stuck bamboo slivers up his fingernails and up his toenails and blinded him. And
Yeah.
yet the Shaolin Temple priest came and rescued him and brought him for sanctuary to the Shaolin Temple. So the emperor's men had got a cannon together in their camp and aimed it at the Shaolin Temple to threaten that if you don't turn over Tomo, that we will blow your temple up. So his daughter, she was wild and she was trained well in the arts, but she courageously was going to sneak into the emperor's camp to
Okay.
disable the cannon. And Kwai Chan Caine was like her age and her equal martial arts wise. And Master Po told him, go retrieve the girl and bring her back into safety because her life would be threatened there. She won't be safe. And Kwai Chang Caine's response was, I shall do nothing else. That's angelic. God would tell us to do this or do that. And we're going to do it along the way. We're going to find something to do in between. We're going to do that and do some more. But when we say, I shall do nothing else, that's what I call angelic. So
But
we only do
that's
what God says.
thank you, because that's so real. That I would have it any other way. Like, I mean, I'm with you on that. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. Like, I mean, come on, how long have you in life made yourself, you know what I'm saying, allowed yourself, or just gave yourself a moment to know that it doesn't make sense, right? But you're trying to, like whatever, but anything, nothing else makes sense but the most the higher realms way, you know. I don't care what you call it, but that nothing else makes sense. And when you try to do it another way, you're settling for less than less. It's like less than less. What's going on over?
I just got a call coming in,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, I was listening to the message, and it was like somebody speaking Spanish saying,
yeah.
yeah, like they're calling the police, and I'm not even sure if they got the right number. At
Oh
any rate,
yeah. Yeah, maybe though. You never know. You know who's who. We got a lot of fam out there. A lot of
yeah.
fam. Yeah.
So
I appreciate this. So, I'm gonna invite you back.
I'm coming back. Can't stop me. I love you too much. My boy Stevie always saying.
Never too much, never too much. Hey, hey,
Used
hey.
to sing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, ain't nobody do it like Frankie Beverly and Maze, man. They did something like profound, right? Am I
Joy and pain, like sunshine and rain. Yup.
right again? But take us out. Take us out with that. Take us out. Take us out with that. What happened? Because that's real. That's the real,
Yeah.
real.
Baby, you make me feel like you care a lot, but I love you too much, maybe three much. Baby, you make me feel like you care a lot.
Never
Yeah,
too much,
Stevie.
never too much. I'm hearing that right there with that.
Oh,
Okay. So next time I come,
I
I-
don't want nobody else to ever love me. You are
oh,
my God of life, my love fantasy. There's not a minute, hour, day, or night that I don't love you.
come on.
You're at the top of my list, cause I'm always dreaming of you. No need to go to work and hustle for another dollar. My heart's feeling harder. I'm so glad that I am winning. And this is only the beginning. Oh, my love.
Oh man.
All the kisses from you is never too much, never too much, never too much. Boom, boom, boom. Eh. So,
Never too much. Never too much too. And you're right. We gotta find a way because I think I'm gonna bring some music too next time. Something, we can actually use and just cut up, have you do something really, really nice. 'Cause that was perfect. I haven't heard that song in so long. You're gonna make me play it and bother people because I really want to hear it tonight. But I've been Billy Pauling myself to death. Okay, because this is what I wanted to share with you. Like, I have the gifts, right? The gifts of intuition, all the above and stuff like that. And I see things before. And I've always been like that ever since I was little. However, when I was little, I will never forget this. Okay. This was something else. You remember Billy Paul's song say, I was married?
yeah.
I heard that song and so help me. I knew it was a channel message to me, and I was barely even, I was young, okay? But I knew this message was channeled to me. I knew that was my future story all the way to the end. He even got it right down to the 6 years. And
Wow.
I knew it was me. I knew, and it's so crazy. You know how you have gifts because things happen and all this stuff, and you have to tell people. But just when you get your story, and that thing is pushing on you, and it's like, but I still like I knew that was my story, but I still said I do. So I still got married anyway, knowing that it wasn't going to work. It wasn't. I got, I did because but I still did it. That's what I'm talking about. I still did it. I did it.
Well, when I met Billy Paul and found out that me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. That was about H addiction,
Wow.
you
Wow.
know,
Yeah,
because no
yeah,
matter who I've been in love with, I never met anyone every day at the same cafe 6:30
yeah.
and they should be there. Never. Unless I was meeting my
help,
man with the
help somebody. Help somebody. You need to say that one more time. Please. Say that one more
no matter
time.
how
And
in
say,
love
say,
I've been with
say it
anyone.
closer, closer, closer. Come on.
I've never met anyone every day at the same time at 6:30 and know she'll be there ever, all the time.
Help me,
And then
please.
holding hands and making all kinds of plans.
Yeah.
While the jukebox plays my favorite song. I, I, Mrs. Jones. Don't come
Yeah. You said that was what type of addiction?
tell me.
I'm sorry, but I know you're right. I know you're right. I love that. My jaw's gonna hurt. So I be breaking up people and they dog. Oh my. Oh, oh, you are so right. But that was a good one. It was a good song. I mean, everybody thought it was Mrs. Jones.
Talking about with nothing but love. Talking about I cheated on my boyfriend alcohol. And then so
Oh.
yeah, I cheated. I accessorized with some other ladies. She don't lie, she don't lie, she don't lie. Cocaine.
I love you.
Doom.
But let's wait because it's giving us less than a minute. You
Okay.
know, you guys,
Love you. Thank you so much for having me.
and you know I
Thank you
love
for being here.
you. You are so daggone smart. So we're gonna pick this up after hours.
Okay.